Hi, everybody. We're live.
Hi, everybody. I'm just going to put my phone on silent.
Okay,
Okay,
actually,
there you go. Do not disturb.
wonderful. Okay, so hello,
Oh,
everybody. Yay, an exciting time. And I'm here with my beautiful co-pilot, Susan Bradley Bortfield, my wonderful coach, mentor, and very dear friend. It's exciting this moment, isn't it, Susan?
oh my gosh. So I feel like I'm walking on air. It's just right. So hi everybody, whether you're watching now live or whether you're watching the replay, wherever you are in the world, um, the energies that are here for you now will be there for you whenever you're watching. So, hi, Sherry. Happy for you to be here. So, we couldn't wait.
No.
We're an impatient duo.
Too excited, like children on Christmas Eve or whatever.
Right. But we want to open the presents before Christmas.
Exactly.
So, um, so today, Souli and I wanted to get here on YouTube because you guys have been so supportive and so wonderful, commenting in the chat, subscribing, sharing with your friends. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. It's only been 4 months. Hello, who knew that there were so many people that wanted to play with
Fairies and the like.
parents,
Why not, though? My goodness, why not?
right? It's a
Yeah,
positive thing.
yeah.
So I wanted, I asked Suli to come on today because I wanted her to share the story because there's been, misconceptions of how easy it is to create oracle cards. And so, first of all, anyone creating oracle cards, they are artists and they are visionaries. Okay. So we do not want to slight anyone in the creative realm. They are all on this planet to assist humanity at this time. We are now in the shift, that shift that we've been waiting for, oh my gosh, right? It's 2012, it became a big thing, and here we are, 13, almost 13 years later. And so the shift is now. The shift is happening now. And um, so is that why the guardians of nature came through to you at this period in humanity's growth?
Great question. It's kind of, yeah, very much so. But there are many other elements attached to it. And I realized that when the Guardians came through, it was just as we were going into lockdown. And I felt the energy as everybody was pulling back, and in the park near us, the trees were humming. There was a buzz in the air. It was like nature was saying, okay, now this is the opportunity to remind humanity how important planet Earth, Mother Earth is, and to also remind them to connect with nature, to be aware of what they're living on, the extraordinary beauty of this planet, and to connect with nature, its wisdom, um, the medicines in the earth. There's so much about Mother Earth that is of vital importance to our existence, and yet we were coming to a stage where we were starting to, or humanity as a whole, most of us, a lot of us are awakened already and are already connected with nature. But there is a great majority also who are not, and who are in a space of feeling that they can dominate, be above nature, that they are. And it's more a question of the guardians of nature coming through at this point to say, wake up, humanity. We can work together. it's a space of connection, a space of realizing what you have at your fingertips almost, and working together. So not denying your technologies, not denying what amazing, incredible advances that we've all made in such a short space of time, relatively short space of time, but unifying with nature, making nature a part of it, and understanding the ancient wisdom of nature and the cycles of nature, that also speak to our souls and speak to us as individuals, falling away, of growing, of blossoming, and then those times of introspection. So it's kind of having an organic way of making life and making the world a better place by working with nature. And also, of course, at the core of that is the ascension process, or whatever you want to call it, this great shift in consciousness, the awakening. Of course, it's all tied with that, but it is, I think, very much, I mean, the last card in this deck of cards I'm going to show in a minute is the goddess Gaia, and her message is return to the garden, and it's talking about your inner garden that then reflects outwardly. And it is about noticing what you have, noticing what you have around you, the beauty of nature, the exquisite. I mean, I know I'm getting tongue-tied now, but what I noticed when I connected with the Guardians, taking a walk out in nature, was another experience. It was like, although felt I was connected with nature before, there was a whole other level of connectedness, almost like, and in fact, actually, Cherie said to me after a session with me something very beautiful when she opened a channel, which was perfect, Cherie. And she said, I felt like I was walking with nature rather than in nature. And that says it all. That says it all. And it's important at this time. And it is all about raising vibration as well, of course. Hi, Cherie. It's all about raising consciousness, expanding your awareness of what's important. And of course, the guardians of nature coming through saying where you live is important. The Mother Earth is important, you know, and connecting is important.
And because I've had the opportunity to bring forward the guardians of nature actually through you and ask them questions that are pertinent to why they're here and how they are helping humanity. And yes, it is to connect us and to make us aware that the earth is a living, breathing entity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also to encourage us to know that we are divine beings.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of what is happening out there, when we connect within, that's where the answers lie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they're also assisting in bringing a lot of truth to humanity, right? So that we can then understand that we're responsible for our own happiness. We're responsible for our own well-being. We have the power, and to think this person's going to save us or this or whatever is going to make everything all better, it starts within.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I get from my conversations with the guardians. But in a few conversations with the guardians, they have said we've watched worlds crumble.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yes.
Gaia is always okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's humanity.
Yeah, that's one of the big messages. Yeah.
In one of her channelings, she actually said, don't worry about me, I'm going to be fine. right? Like,
Yeah.
worry about yourselves.
Yeah. And that's showing the great love that she has for us as well. She's
Yeah.
saying, look, this is the opportunity to wake up and smell the coffee. You know, I'll be all right. I might retreat for a while. I might have to recalibrate. I might have to shift things around, but I will always be okay. But, you know, she's seen civilizations come and go, and she wants humanity. There's this opportunity with the veils sort of thinning at this stage during the ascension process between the realms. She wants us at this stage to say, okay, I would love for you to be here for a lot longer. So, you know, just pay attention. Yeah.
Yes, and that the reason they're able to come forward at this time is because we've kind of hit that threshold necessary,
Yeah.
that more and more people are awake and aware now, and the it might seem that there is more divisiveness in our world than love, but that's actually not the truth,
Mhm.
right? And the reason why they're able to assist us is because love has won the day,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, that was something Viola showed with us, wasn't it, a while ago? And I think
Yeah.
I've heard it from various sort of platforms, you know, that love. And actually, when you tap into it, whatever's happening in whatever's happening now in the world, and it seems like chaos, and to a certain degree it is. And there's lots of really sharp contrast when you tune into your heart, when you tune into your own inner life. You begin to understand and connect with that unconditional love, which is palpable. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't see any comments, Susan. Do you? Apart from the one from
I
Sheila.
I do. So Sherry said, nature has been a constant companion on my spiritual journey, Gaia and all her beauty. So grateful for my personal connection. Thank you, Souli.
Oh, bless. Oh, what a
Oh,
wonderful
that's
thing.
so beautiful.
Oh, that's
So,
lovely. Thank you, Shirley.
um, so you may still be on private chat if you look to the
Oh,
right and top.
oh, yes. There you go. No, I know. Wait a minute. No, now I'm off. Bear with me. Oh,
That's
here we
okay.
go. Here we go. I've got it now. Oh, wonderful. Excellent.
And that's where I come in handy.
Awesome.
Okay. So 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 the cards are in. They're back from the printers, and that's the big announcement. Yes.
Yay. Yes, I've got my sample check, which I've tweaked and is now at the printers ready to be shipped in a grander way. And I'm so delighted. Shall
So yes.
here they are.
Um, but that's not going to be the final box. It's going to be a
No,
little
it's
bit
going to be a
bigger.
little bit bigger, the final box. Yeah, that was one of the tweaks because I've got a little gift that I put in each of them, which
Yeah.
is Mother Gaia,
So
and the
those
Guardians of Nature.
so those are charged crystals.
They're cleansed and charged by the Guardians of Nature and Gaia, the goddess
And
Gaia.
and that wasn't something you said, here, charge these. It was a lengthy process, yes.
It did it, and actually the box of the beautiful stones that I keep having to they're so beautiful to connect with. They're under my chair, so that the guardians who are here now, they'll continue to work with them. So whenever they go, wherever they're meant to go, and each bag, I'm told, will be specific for the individual that buys that deck, or will be charged. There'll be a personal charge for that individual deck, that they will continue to be a part of your world from that, and they will continue to work through those little gifts from Mother Gaia, from Mother Earth. Oh, oh.
So when you hold these stones and these gems in your hand, you'll be able to feel the power. I'm so excited. So it also comes with a big, thick book.
It does.
Before we get to that, though, in the beginning, I was saying, that sometimes a creator will receive a download, right? Like most of the cards in the enlightening field or the awakening field come from spirit. They come through a download. Um, and then they create the cards. And sometimes it can take 3 days, sometimes it's 3 weeks, sometimes 3 months. Your journey has been different. So this has been 10 months.
Yeah.
10 months with no time off. It's been working together. Well, you've been working on your own as well, but together we've met twice a week for approximately 2 to 3 hours each
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So working together where every single message that came through after you receive that whoosh download, you first saw that there was going to be 55 cards. There's going to be 55 messages from the Fey realm. Is that right?
Yeah. So 55 cards, 5 portals. So yes, obviously beautifully numerologically sorted out. But I was told this, And then the first portal is the guardians of nature, the elves. Hi, noble feather, bless you. Thank you for being here, love. The second portal is the Fae, which will be the fairies, a couple of gnomes and pixies. And then the third portal is the magical creatures, unicorn, dragons, griffin, and such. The fourth portal is the animals, the creatures of the earth. I had to think about that for a minute. The creatures of the earth. So that would be the horse, the lion, spider, dragonfly. Oh no, the dragonfly comes in magical creatures, but there's a reason for that. And it will be explained in the cards. And then the final portal is Mother Earth, and it's the rivers, caves, mountains, ocean. So they all have a particular message. They'll all have, for instance, the first guardian of nature, Elohim, her message is strength. And they all have an individual channeled message to share with you. And it is like taking a walk hand by hand with the guardians of nature. I really get a sense that they're reaching out and taking you by the hand and saying, come walk with me. There's an incredible power of them. And I was thinking about it this morning. I feel so totally and utterly blessed to be a part of this and to bring it through. There has been such an immense amount of healing and growth through this process, which you know too well. First time I brought the fairies through, you would think fairies would be light and airy and fluffy and I was not. I bought two through. Big mistake. 2 through in one day. Their messages, because they came through like that, and the images came through quickly as well. But I was knocked out for a couple of days afterwards because I was just zonked from the power. Mother Earth is 5.
And
beautiful.
Yes, I have an imagination, and yes, I'm connected. But I'm like, oh, isn't that sweet? She played with fairies. That's nice, right? Because we'll get to that. But the first thing that happened after this swoosh, and you were given all the names and all the portals, that's the first thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, the channeled messages from each of those 55 beings came through. that was next.
Yeah, and it's and
So
actually
it's
listening
like,
to you say 55, I'm thinking, my goodness, yes, no wonder it took that long. And they
right?
were so powerful. Each of them was so powerful.
So
Really.
it was like, okay, channel the message, take a nap.
Exactly. Exactly. Rest. And with some of them, I had to sort of rest a little bit longer as well for integration as well, to integrate the
Yeah,
shifts that were created from their connection. But
because
it was
because
beautiful.
they're not just channeled messages. They have transmissions and frequencies within the messages. And then you had to go through an upgrade to handle the transmissions and the
Yeah.
frequencies, right?
Quite a few actually in the end, I think it was. Yeah. I mean, I'm a different person now, and people who know me probably wouldn't notice, but I notice that I'm a
I notice.
different person now than I was when I began. And in so many ways, so many ways. I mean, you know that there's been healings that I've felt. I'm starting a YouTube channel. I've
Yeah.
had my YouTube channel quiet and in the background for a few years now, and not touched it. It's like, no, maybe next month, maybe
I've
next.
been I've been Souli's coach on and off for since she graduated the academy. So when we first started, you didn't even want to do a live video.
Mm-mm.
No email, no live video, no.
Oh my gosh.
And so I've been honored and so grateful and so blessed to see your journey from the beginning and to see you step into your power and to be able to do what you do with it takes a lot of strength and a lot of trust and a lot of awareness, right? Because nobody um, nobody grows up to say, when I get older, I'm going to talk about fairies and dragonflies and how I see whales coming down the street.
Oh yeah, you remember that one?
Right? So to
Yeah.
say, you know what, this is my truth, this is the truth, and I I agreed. I was chosen, and I agreed to collaborate with a whole nother realm to bring their messages forward. That took a lot of courage and a lot of trust. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, the trust really has come from nearly 30 years of being a
Hi, Nick.
channel. Yeah, hi, Nick. Um, nice to have you here. Um, yeah, I opened the channel nearly 30 years ago now, 25, 30 years ago. And and that was a journey of trust. Because for a long time, and anybody who opens to channel, the majority of them know that you question it a lot for a long time. And also ego will interfere because I'm a verbal channel and I stay present and I'm aware of what's being said, although further and further and further away, the more I trust. Ego used to interfere, and then you'd learn to discern when it was ego and when it was the being, and then you learn to know because of the energy, because of the what was coming through, and then you learn to trust that what would come through would be perfect, and you don't question it. Maybe a couple of times you question it, but it's always right. It's always right. And so when it came to the Guardians waking me up in the early hours of was it 2020, the January the 1st, 2020, and the room was sparkling. I've never experienced anything like it. It was just incredible. I keep asking them, can you do it again, please? Can you do it again? Not necessary. We're connected with you now. But the room was sparkling and it was pulsing, and there was a real energy of kind of I felt safe, I felt loved, and then this big booming voice outside me saying, will you work with the guardians of nature? Of course I trusted, because I knew at that stage, and I could feel it, that that was unconditional love, that there was There was, and also I realize now that throughout my life I had been connected with all of the Fey realm, not consciously, but I'm having a memory now of when I was a child dancing down the garden, and actually now looking back on it, playing with fairies. It would have been my imagination back then, but actually I was playing with fairies. But you see, there was no sort of parameter at that stage to even suggest that that was the case, so I would have dismissed it and just thought it was my imagination. So I've always been connected with like the other realms. I've always loved everything magical. Any film that comes out that's to do with magic or the magical realms or fairies, the child in me comes out to play, and I love it. I just love it. I used to love, with my boy and his two sisters, watching the, you know, all the fairy films and everything. So when it came to working with the guardians of nature, it was an instant no-brainer. I mean, yeah, and I do trust. I do trust. The only person I have had a hard time trusting is myself. Isn't that always the way? That's been the journey for me, is trusting myself. I now I bring through the information. It's always going to be exactly what's needed in that moment. But trusting that it's me that, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there bit by bit.
You have worked through a lot of that, trusting yourself and getting out of your own way over these last 10 months. So after you received all the channeled messages, my job is to keep us on track.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Usually I'm like up in the clouds with Souli, but one of us has to stay. Otherwise, this could be 2 hours. So once you channeled all the messages for the 55, right? Or
it actually, you mean the images? Sometimes what happened
no, not the, after you channeled all the messages.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
And then came you had to create the images that reflected that particular guardian, or am I getting that wrong?
No, it kind of happened in a sort of more haphazard, not haphazard, it wasn't haphazard at all, but to an outsider it may have seemed that way. I would tune in, and sometimes the channeled message would come through and the image would be made from that. Sometimes I would have the push or the shove to create the image, and the message would come through the image. But it was different for each time. Mostly it was the message would come through and then the image. But there were times when I felt drawn to. I remember one night, everybody had gone to bed and I was still up after having worked on several things that day. And I suddenly got the urge, golden dragon. I've got to do an image of a golden dragon. And I felt the energy of the golden dragon there with me. And I went straight in and I was playing with it. And all of a sudden, there it was. And then the message came through that. So it was very much a game of what is needed today, what was needed for this next message. Channeled message, image. And then all of a sudden I'd go, oh gosh, I've got to create an image for the unicorn sale or something, or whatever it would be. And then the message would come afterwards, or even maybe in a kind of way synchronistically with the image, if that makes sense. So it's almost like forming there as I'm making the image. So when I finish the image, it's there already. So I think actually, now I'm thinking about it, the two really came together. And I'm seeing a clear kind of like two paths together like this. And it was kind of in the moment which one was literally just a fraction ahead of the other. And I would just go with that. And I think that's also why I work so beautifully with you, because you allowed for that part of it, that kind of organic creativity of okay, so there wasn't anybody there saying, well, bring through all the channeled messages at once, then all the images. It wouldn't have worked that way. It was far much more of a creative hotbed of working with the guardians of nature, the magical creatures, the fairies, the elves, the pixies. it was like in the moment. I did go kind of down the line of 1 to 55, because I think if it went any other way, I think I would have been completely confused.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where our session was, yeah, you need to rest.
Yeah.
And that was it. But there were many times, like more and more, we started collaborating more when it came to, okay, so now the cards are created, the messages are, okay, so what's our next step? And as we're playing with ideas, this is the beautiful thing, because the guardians have worked with me as well to work with Souli, to be what Souli needs. You know, I mean, there was a couple of times where I was told, take your hands off the wheel, okay?
Whoa.
And I'm like, okay, right? And I learned to trust as well what was coming forward. So I'm like, okay, because I'm like, okay, so here's all the stuff we need to do. And this is, you know, I make lists and I make calendars, and this is what has to happen now. So I've become more trusting, more flexible, not only with you, but with my other clients as well, because I learned to not work my way, but work their way, if that makes sense. So, right. So then when it started coming to, okay, the messages are done, the images are done, which took months, right? And then it's like, okay, should we interview the guardians, right? Because this is their introduction to the world. The world does not yet know them. Should we interview, not in the question answer kind of sense, but allow them to come forward and speak about what they individually want to bring to the world and what they are. So that whole process started, right?
Oh, yes.
So that was so cool, because what we learned was they have a lot of opinions, and they, right, which was wonderful, because it was like we didn't have to figure everything out.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we'd bring up an idea and they're like, yeah, no, not yet. Right? Like we don't think that would be appropriate for now. But they love the idea of being able to be interviewed. And out of the blue, 15, the number 15 came. And then out of the blue, you're like, oh, that quote that had exactly 15. Right?
Yeah.
It was like, so that's what we want for everyone watching, whether you're watching now or in the future or sharing this in some way, is to know that you can collaborate with the guardians of nature. You can call on them for assistance, which I do on a daily basis. Right? Because and it has literally changed my life. You know, a lot of people connected to Souli have been my clients, and they know I pretty much retired. Right? And through this process, I'm like, maybe I'll go out there again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm working through that. I still have a few health challenges that I don't want to interfere. So I'm still taking care of myself first. But with the guardian, have you ever experienced something like that where you are literally collaborating? Like we had a business meeting with the Council of Elders of the Guardians of Nature to talk about when to release the cards, what dates to release the cards, how long should it be, and we get approval from the guard because Souli is the oracle of the guardians of nature. And we realized that early on that, yes, she got the downloads and she could have channeled the messages and put the cards out there. But we realized early on it was so much bigger.
Co-creation. Co-creation, most definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
explain that and stay to the end because we're going to do a card pull and she's going to show off the beautiful cards.
So it's been a complete co-creation. Whenever I ever sat down to work on the cards, do anything to do with the cards, it's almost like they're surrounding me. I can feel their energy. And when I was working on, obviously when I worked on a message, it just came through. But then when I was working on an image, I would be having difficulties sometimes and say it was a particular being or particular guardian. And I wasn't quite making it, and I'd work on it and it wouldn't quite work. I'd say, where are you? Come on, where are you? And suddenly, there they were. And I knew that was Elohim. I knew it was Firefly, whoever it was, because I could see them looking out at me from that image and I could feel them. And I knew, okay, that's it, because that now is a live transmission that people can have and hold and carry with them. So to have that with me, that amazing co-creation, and also the support of them. And I love, you used to say this, but actually I don't think we ever really fully took it on board until the Guardians reminded us, if it doesn't flow, let it go. There would be times when we would be sitting here together, we would be, why isn't that? Why can't that? Why don't? And then we'd hear, well, and you would say, okay, if it doesn't flow, let it go. And sure enough, we'd let it go. And at the perfect moment, it would all suddenly coalesce into the perfect result, the perfect solution. But it never by pushing and forcing.
The first time that happened, they actually giggled. They're like, we were wondering how long it would take you to realize no matter what you did, it wasn't going to work. Because that was the funniest. It's like,
so actually, it's really making me realize, Susan, this is the wonderful thing about working on these cards and this oracle that I think will be continue forever after, because I don't think it's ever going to stop the juiciness, the gifts of this deck and the co-creation. Every day I'm learning something new about it. Every day I'm learning something new about the cards. There's another layer there. There's something new. And I'm realizing how much both of us have changed and transformed during this process, and how much we've gained, and how much therefore our clients will gain from this journey as well. There's so much, and every time I pick the cards, and as you were so beautifully, bond with the cards, there's more to find out, there's more to discover, there's something else that they're bringing to the world, which is truly amazing and magnificent. It's such an incredible journey and adventure. I feel so blessed, to be a part of it. Yeah. And for you to
the more I see the cards, I can't wait to have my cards in my hands where I can feel them, because every time, like I'm very energy sensitive, but every single person that receives these cards is going to be able to feel the power. There is no way they're not going to. I mean, I believed in fairies and fairy tales. Tinkerbell, she's my girl, you know. But I did not believe that fairies really existed. And so for me to then receive a transmission from a fairy and get knocked out where I had to sleep for like 6 hours because the healing that was taking place within me was so, in order for me to receive it, they're only going to give you what you can handle in any kind of moment. And I was asking for that healing. I'm like, don't trickle it in, just give it to me. You know what I mean? Just hit me big time.
They did.
But the more and more and more that you bring the cards forward, like all you ambassadors, you think, oh, you're friends with Souli, you just happen to, you want to support her, you love her. You were chosen. Hello.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just like I began to understand that I was chosen to assist Souli, it was like they say it was written in the stars.
Mm-hmm.
I was retired, happily retired, just helping people that came to me, but not going out there looking for clients or anything. But it was meant to be. And so I'm just so honored, and I just want everyone to be able to have the experience and the wisdom and the knowledge that they bring forward, because it will literally, did you just hear that?
No, what was that?
It was just like a beep. It was weird. Um, anyway, it changed. I love how they work. It changed my life. It literally changed my life for the better. And I don't view the world in the same way. I don't view myself in the same way. I don't view nature in the same way. Like Steve and I will go to the park and I have to touch every tree.
Yeah.
God bless him. He hasn't played fairies yet, but he will. So we wanted to let you guys know the process, because it was literally the guardians of nature are here now in our realm, helping us in more ways than they could ever explain. But one of the ways that they are helping, aside bringing awareness to the earth, is to assisting in truth coming to light. The truth is coming to the light for our own ascension, because we are now in the shift where we are heading to a, even though the so-called reality may seem different, we are heading into a more compassionate, more inclusive, more loving and accepting, and more connected in the understanding of how you're connected to the earth. You, Mother Gaia, and Mother Nature, and that tree, You're not separate.
Mm-hmm.
You and the guardians, you're not separate.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is connected.
And the big message that's coming through that you kind of touched on there, Susan, was that it starts with you. It starts with you. Always starts with you.
Right?
Yeah.
You get to choose. You choose.
Mm.
Right? So I thought it was very important for people to understand this is not some deck that got slapped together.
Mm-mm.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
this was a true labor of love to bring these important messages and transmissions and frequencies for humanity's highest good. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, and um, and so, do you want to show off your cards?
Why not?
Unless you have anything to add.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think the thing is with this subject, you could go on and on and on, but I want people to stay around. I don't want them to go off. So I've showed you the box, which is actually in the process of being enlarged, and there are some tweaks as well that I had to make. My mistakes that I made in the producing of it, so I've had to tweak that as well. That took all day yesterday, so it's now on its final leg. But this is the back of the card here, which is representing obviously the earth, but the magical aura of the earth, the Fey realm. I think I've got that one upside down. That one's it's upside down. There we go. So that's the back of the card. So that's the. But I have actually. Here's one I made earlier. I tuned in before we came on, and I asked the Guardians to pick 3 cards that would speak to my YouTube audience, to my subscribers and my YouTube audience, that would be meaningful to them, and that would speak to their hearts. And so I've got 3 cards here, and just for now, I'm going to show you those 3 cards.
Before you do that, can you show them the booklet that has all the messages?
With my little. So this is the booklet, and it's quite a substantial booklet with a little picture that Susan chose on there, and a little bit about me. But there's I don't want to get rid of my bookmarks there, but it's full of all the juicy transmissions, as well as the cards and the messages, the extraordinary. Oh, bless you, thanks, Nick. The extraordinary power.
Thank you, Nick.
Extraordinary power, and I am not assuming, I know that you'll feel something, each of you, and it will be different for each of you. It will be individual, but the cards are extraordinarily powerful, and they are a catalyst for shift and change. But there's nothing to be concerned about, because it's something you've been calling for, your soul has been calling for. If you feel drawn to the deck, if you feel drawn to the cards, it's because they are for you individually, as well as the planet. They're extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. So these are the 3 cards that I've chosen, and actually you can have a look at them and see if any of them you are drawn to any of them particularly. But this is the 1, that's 2, and that's 3. It may be all 3, but the way you use these cards, they want you to expand upon your ability to intuit. They want for you to drop from your head to your heart, because as Viomus would say, your head cannot fathom what your heart already knows to be true. They want for you to start to begin to come from your heart. So using your intuition, just see if any of the cards speak to you. It may be all of them. And don't overthink it, or don't think about it at all, because that's something they want people to get out of, is analyzing. The wonderful mind and the brain is a fantastic thing and a fantastic tool, but now we need people to come from their hearts, to truly begin to feel in each moment what's right for them. So this is the first card. And this one came out in a reading the other day for my group. Sedgwick, Judgment. Now, just look at the card and see what stands out to you, because what I've noticed in the cards is that when you see them one time, there will be a certain element of the card that will stand out to you. And then you see them another time and there's another element. I mean, we pulled the spider, didn't we, the other day, Susan?
Yeah.
I could clearly see the spider, you could see the web, and neither of us could quite see that there was a gnome looking through the web. The next time I saw the web, blah, blah, blah. And so it depends on what you need in that moment. So that's Sedgwick. And here's a pixie, Judgment. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to do it justice. You'll feel the transmissions even if I get the reading, or because it's quite little words here. So this is Sedgwick, Judgment. And 15, apparently numerologically, that's important. The numbers are important. So this is Sedgwick. Stop! I am down here beneath your foot. Yes, right here, sitting on this magnificent toadstool, minding my own. And you nearly squished me. I nearly got squished. Pick me up, lovely Herman. I have some wisdom to share. Walk a while with me, and I will show you all you are missing. I feel your judgment keenly. First for my diminutive size, then for my playfulness, and now for my poor use in your mind of language. But if for a moment you let me show you the error of your judgment, you may leave me where you found me, the wiser for the exchange. We have witnessed you humans for aeons. There is much that puzzles us. I am here because your message, for now, is to allow for a softening, a relaxing of your lightning fast judgment. How have you misjudged yourself today? Have you misjudged a person or a situation? And are you now suffering from the lack of a possible beautiful connection? We all say here in the realm of the flay, be light with it. Try not to be so fast to write something in stone, when a pause and a softening would shift your understanding and create a magical space for wonderful possibilities. We urge you not to be so quick to judge, so rigid in your judgment. Have you perhaps missed a golden opportunity? I thank you, sweet human, for giving me the opportunity to soften your edges. And I thank you for not squidging Sedgwick. We are not so bad after all, eh? Sedgwick. I do love the pixies. And so here, did anybody pick one? I'm not sure whether you did. So this is 2. The back of the card, and turn it round. And a unicorn, purity of heart. Let me just check the number because I see 23, purity of heart. Again, tuning into the card, what stands out for you? What part of the card is speaking to your heart? Feel the transmissions from it. Okay. And the message from the unicorn is, oh, I can feel the power of it already. Sorry, excuse me. Woo. 23, unicorn, purity of heart. I am Elohim of the guardians of nature. I am here to take you into the magical realm of the unicorn. They are so loved and tended to by all of us in the realm of the Fae. They are cherished for their light and purity of heart. Come take my hand. Walk with me and feel the beautiful sparkles that emanate from their hearts. Do you see? The air is full of sparkles. The unicorn wish to hold you in their hearts, to show you the magnificence of your own heart. We are the unicorns. We, the unicorns, will hold you and show you the beauty of your heart. For however you perceive yourself and your light, your heart shows us your truth. Let us hold you tenderly while you feel the love and blissful peace for a while. We witness you humans, and that we see that you have met so much. We see that you have so many distractions that can take you away from the solace within your heart space. We have no distractions here, and our heart fields are immense. All you need to do is imagine you are basking in our love, and so it is. You have such a beautiful capacity to love unconditionally. We urge you to begin with yourself. As we hold you tenderly, allow for the love to melt that which holds you back from feeling the unconditional love of your heart. You then begin to open to that space for others to follow, one moment at a time. Come. We are with you. You are loved. We will show you how until you remember. So that's the unicorn. So that was you, Susan. I don't see any. Okay, Noble, you said 3. Bless you. Okay, so 3's coming up. Oh, bless you. So 3 is mycelium. And there's a guardian of nature behind there. So again, what stands out to you? And what in a way, tuning into your heart, using your intuition, is there already a message arising from this card that may actually have nothing to do with the actual channeled message, but will connect with the channeled message in some way? A very powerful card, actually. Very powerful. So here's the message of the mycelium. Oh, bless you. So 54, mycelium, mind of Gaia. Come with me. Ignite your imagination. Gosh, my eyesight's just suddenly gone, whoa, excuse me. I am Ignatius of the Guardians of Nature. We start upon the earth in the early days of her physical journey. The Guardians are all here with Mother Earth, witnessing the beauty in awe. There is a living, benevolent being that is also here, a necessary part of the earth, as necessary as the oxygen, the atmosphere. In fact, along with the trees, it helps create the atmosphere you now, as a race, take for granted. It is as if Mother Earth and the being are one and the same. That is something close to the truth. This extraordinary being grows into a myriad of blessings, evolving, adapting. The healing properties abound. This being is called mycelium. its blessings, fungus of all descriptions. There are fungus to eat, most which carry healing properties. There is fungus that helps in the cleanup of the dead. There is fungi for every need, even those that help deep journeyings and connections. There is much for you humans to still discover about the magnificent mycelium. It is as ancient as Mother Earth. Look now within the earth at the wonderful network of mycelium, the way it communicates like neurons of a brain. Do you see? Mycelium can be regarded as the mind of Mother Earth. A better way of expressing it would be to say that mycelium holds the consciousness of Mother Earth, of the goddess Gaia. It is that vital to all life upon the earth. Yes, humanity too. For you inhabit this world and would not exist without it. Tap into the wonderful mycelium and benefit from its messages of unity and unconditional love. It is available to all. It is available to you all the time. Take time to listen now, and a recognition of its ancient sentience has been ignited. Notice. So there you are. Allow that all to settle, all those messages settling within wherever they are needed, and the transmissions as well. And actually that's quite a lot. 3 cards, I'm realizing it's quite a lot. Yeah. So
That was beautiful.
my eyesight didn't let me down too much.
No, but you need cheaters. You need those glasses.
I do. I have sort of, because I'm short-sighted, I have long-sighted glasses, which I very rarely use actually, which is a bit silly. But I now need reading glasses as well, unfortunately.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So here's the hard part to tell everybody. You cannot buy these yet. But they will become available on the date of the 11/11 portal. So we wanted to just, we couldn't wait. We had to share a little taster. See all those? They're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. Pick a couple and just show.
Okay. This is quite interesting because there's so much in there. It's the ant potential.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. So each message, each card, and I have, like, before you even read the description, like, I'm receiving messages for myself, my personal. Oh, I love that. Yes. Yes, beautiful. And they're so powerful. So we wanted to share that with you. Sometimes I don't think we realize how long it takes to tell the story, the journey. Sabrina is my favorite, I have to say.
There's lots of people that really, really are connected with.
She just reminds me, like, no matter what, it's like when we're meant to pause, that's perfectly okay. It's perfectly perfect. Oh, I love that one. Yes. We tried to do. Who did we try to do? And then Chickwick. Chickwick is playfulness, okay? But he
I'll just show this one first, but I'll get Chickwick in a minute. But this one's
Cedar. Beautiful.
I had to be very creative with that because I couldn't get the goat's legs sorted at all.
And Chickwick was supposed to be one of the 15 that we interviewed.
Yeah. He
He
wouldn't have.
was,
He
he
wouldn't have.
was so naughty. He played with the
Seriously, let me see if
microphones
I can
and he
find it.
played with the video.
I wonder if
Oh,
he's going to let me find him now. Let's see. Oh, while I'm waiting, I'll just show to see what part of this is dominant for you, what you see there with the spider creation.
immediately, I recognized the spider first this time.
Yeah, I can, but I can also see Globin. I think it's Globin behind, which I haven't seen
Yes,
the last couple of times.
yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, so on the 11th, the portal of 1111, which is an opening, an expansion, more heightened awareness, more tapping into your own unique gifts. That's when the cards will be available. Souli was, oh, hi, Chickwick, you naughty little,
Cheeky chappy.
you naughty little chap. That Souli put together an amazing team of ambassadors for the Guardians of Nature who have agreed to share the cards and share the messages of the Guardians. Fabulous group of amazing souls, each with their own unique gifts, which has been amazing. So if any of the ambassadors to the Guardians are watching, I want to personally thank you for everything, for agreeing to assist in bringing these important messages to the world, to supporting Souli, to putting up with my sarcasm and
Oh,
my unique sense of humor.
no, I love your sense of humour, Susan.
You should see the hard time I give the Guardians when they come through. Um, I'm a naughty little elf. Anyway, so I want to thank everybody. If you know anybody that can benefit from these cards, from these messages, these cards make a great gift. They come with the stones and the booklet, and she's in the process of making the box a little bigger to fit the charged crystals right in there. So it just makes such an amazing gift. During the promotional period from 11/11 to 12/1, there will be a discounted price. We'll get more into that closer to the dates. But for now, it's only the ambassadors that have been able to order their cards because of all their commitment and hard work and so much gratitude. Anything else to add, Souli?
I'm just feeling overwhelmed with the magic that's just being shared with our realm, and I really get a sense that the 1111 portal is kind of like an opening of an emerging to a degree. I'm feeling really excited, and I know that this is going to be a tool for the benefit of humanity and everyone, all. Yeah, definitely. And I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful for the ambassadors. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for the Guardians of Nature. And I love this journey with them. I've just loved it. There's been difficult times, yes, but oh yeah, just so beautiful. And I hope that all of you feel drawn to owning your own copy and receiving the magic from the Guardians of Nature. In fact, there's a little disclaimer which Susan's recommended in the box that says, disclaimer, working with the guardians of nature may bring magic and sparkle into your lives, which is true. So true. Oh, bless. Oh, thank you.
And yes, profound healing with the guardians. Absolutely. There's two more people that I want to thank before we release, and that's MDY, who has been instrumental in the growth of the YouTube channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reaching more people. So grateful for him. He's amazing.
Yeah,
And as well as Biomass, because Biomass is the one that tells me to take my hands off the wheel, to chill out, but has been such an amazing support as well for me personally. And I just want to thank him as well. So thank you.
Thank you for that, Susan. Yeah, just as you said that, I could feel Vimes. It was coming from here. It was like a. That's why I went, ooh, because it was really lovely.
We haven't forgotten you, V.
And I'm hearing, could you ever, dearest one? Could you ever?
I hear you in my dreams. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a fabulous day. Love, love, love to all of you.
Susan, did we say we were going to try and make this one short?
We don't do short videos, okay?
We don't. Unfortunately, we don't.
But it was quite the story, and there's no part you can really leave out.
No. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Susan. Bless you. Thank you. And thank you, everybody here. Thank you. And yeah, be excited. 11/11. Be excited. Oh.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's so wonderful.
All of you. Well, mine's nearly over, but thank you. Thank you, all of you. Bless you all. Bless you all.
Well, I'll stay. Just stop recording.
Okay. Lots of love to everybody. Thank you. Oh.